Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Catch you in just a moment. We are setting up the X space. So, you know what I didn't do? I was supposed to check on Apple. I didn't check on Apple to see if I could do a video space to go with the video. We'll do it. We'll do it a little bit later. But I do thank you guys for the suggestion on that. January. '11th, and then I'm gonna record the space. We'll start it, and before I even bring on my microphone, we will go to Bluetooth. Turn that on. I should have done that before you open the app. Oh, okay. It'll be on before the audio channel is open, so this might work. We can do Robert, Highlander, Scott B is also Highlander, Slimy. I can do the Tesla Life. And send. All right, we'll unmute ourselves. And we'll need somebody who has the spaces to let me know how it sounds over there. I'm gonna put my phone on charge. There. Slide this tablet down just a little bit. Move this HBA card out of the way. The box for the HBA card we'll probably use to balance this thing. Yes, but not upside down. There you go. And let's do an audio check. Well, first, let's make sure this thing is classed as a live stream, which it probably is not. It is not. All right. And we didn't use any AI alterations. And save button is right underneath the lights. Okay. Then we'll go to the chat, make sure they didn't mess that up. They usually do pretty, they messed it up this week. And I'm gonna save that, so the chat is good. And next, we'll get our feedback test. Go to the studio broadcast room, wait for it to load a picture. Hey, Brian's there. I was gonna send you one on X Spaces, but I wasn't sure if you could do that. But I'd rather have you on video if you don't mind. We've got a interesting group of topics today. All right, let's see. Unmute. That doesn't sound too bad. Let's do the old mute and unmute, or smart and unsmart trick, and let's see if it comes in a little better than that. It was totally buttery mess when I started because it chose the lid of the laptop, which catching up at 1.5. We were just turning on. But hop on in. We're going to talk about people and policies regarding EVs. So let's do let's unmute and mute again. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So let's pull up now the link. We got a link here of a graphic. Let's pull up the notebook because I want Marcus online for that other one. We'll click into here. And then we'll come over here to the notebook. Oh, the notebook is on Linux. Let's switch it back to this. 11 January, that's today. We've got that first topic, but then we've got a second topic. It's on the same vein. So let's go ahead and copy link. And we're gonna find another browser that says it wants to update. And not that one. Close. Try to get out of our way. Put this one further up in the corner. Find another one that says update. Not that one. Not that one. All right, so we will make a new tab in the one we're in and just yank it out, because then it'll be of the same instance. Opened up a new tab and it says, well, Elon Musk says that saving for retirement will be relevant in 20 years. Well, I live in the now, not the 20 years. So I suggest continuing to save for retirement for now. All right, so the second one was an X post, and it was on the same vein of ignorance and just feels and vibes that the main story is on. All right, excellent. So the first one we're waiting on Marcus is going to be about racing EVs, and this other one is about an electrician that should know better. So let's do share screen. There's the mouse. Share screen. I got a little beach ball. Spin, spin, spin. And you should pop up in front of me, not on some random screen, right? So there you are. And there's our X post. And let's come back and arrange it. Because why not arrange it? Let's go here. And here. Oh, not there. Come back to me. Yes. All right. So Austin said he talked to an electrician today who's been installing a lot of L2 home chargers for people. The product he uses and recommends almost exclusively, is ChargePoint. Barfing emoji. Why would anyone other than Tesla? Why would anyone get anything other than a Tesla universal wall connector? I don't know anyone personally would, unless they, have, personal boycotts going on. If it was their money, because it's the cheapest one out there with the best capabilities. One exception to that, with the Gen 3 onward, it's only at 48 amps. So if you have a classic Tesla Model S or an old Model X like me with the high amp charger, that might make you go somewhere else. But if you need the higher speeds, and then also if you have something that can charge at 80 amps, like a classic Tesla Roadster, Ford Lightning, Chevy Silverado, GM Hummer EV, but these are not common EVs anymore that would need the full Monty, the full 19 kilowatts. So other than them and people who are having boycotts, I don't know why anyone would personally get one that is more expensive. Somebody does touch on it later in the thread, and hopefully I see it and we'll touch on it. If not, I'll bring it up myself. So yeah, why would anyone? There's a few reasons, but there aren't very many good ones. All right, so Austin continues. When I mentioned it, he looked like he didn't even recognize what I was talking about. When asked if it was 40 or 50 amps, he said it was 48 amps. Okay, fine. That's what a Tesla today could do, right? So, fine. He said, but 50 amp breaker will do for that. Ooh. That's a spicy. Austin continues. I wouldn't need a 60 amp breaker to safely pull 48 amps continuous. Interjection that Austin is correct here, because the National Electric Code requires, and the Canadian one too, requires that you derate the circuit for to 80% of the nameplate if you're going to be doing a continuous draw. Electric cars charging their batteries are a continuous draw, a heavy one. So 2 amp headroom is not 20% at a 50 amp breaker. Austin's electrician. Austin continues, and y'all, he goes, well, wouldn't it pull, or it wouldn't pull 48 amp continuous? They don't do that. It's not a dryer, my man. It's not a clothes dryer. It's not cycling. It's, you plug it in, it's handshakes, it's drinking down the juice for hours, from anywhere from 25 minutes to all night. In my case, it'll take up to 4 hours pulling 72 amps off a 90 amp circuit. Mine is a 100 amp circuit because my EVSE can do 80. And it'll do that from 1 a.m. to anywhere between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., depending on how low I took it and any sort of conditioning and balancing it wants to do after that. And it's steady. It doesn't drop down off 72 until like the last 2% or so. Then at that point it goes, 36 amps, and then it just cuts off. It doesn't really ramp. So yeah, I wish he had named the electrician so you could know if you need to get your house re-inspected after this guy came through. Anyway, Austin points to his car and says, "Yes, they do." Electrician says, "No, they don't." Austin says, "Guys." Well, that guy is an electrician, they say. So let's go through some of these comments because they are mostly prescient. Alan of Tesla Calendar says, that's pretty wild. Tells you when electricians know so little where the rest of the country is. And there we go. The 80% rule is also insane. No, it's not. And should have never happened. Europe is correct in this regard. What does Europe do? Don't paper cut me. Just do that. There we go. I'm going to have to take it aside and see what Europe does. Unless he says it right here. Europe is correct in this regard. If the breaker and circuit are rated for 50 amps, I should be able to pull 50 amps all day, momentarily exceed it, but no. Okay, so in this case, does that mean a 50 amp circuit has a 20% overbuild to it that you just can't see? You guys had electricity the same time we did. A little bit later. Not much. Like a couple of weeks, couple of months. Anyway. But no, for some reason you have to size the circuit down to 125% of the maximum continuous current. And God forbid that you exceed it. Why even have a 50 amp rating if you can only pull 40 amps through it? Because you can pull 50 amps through it for less than an hour. That's why it's the 50 amp circuit. At least here, according to our code. So now I need to, let's do this. I'm going to use some outside influence. Let's see here. I'm going to go to a new tab and I'm going to type in Europe circuit rating versus US 20% D-rate. And let's see what the search engine comes back with. How to derate? I know how to derate. There's a video on it. We're not going to do that. Oh, well, these videos are about how to calculate the derate anyway. All right, we'll use the listening box and see what it says. Let's adjust that. Don't derate like we do in the States. You pick up on a real and often misunderstood difference. But Matt's phrasing is a little too absolute. EU circuits do derate, but the reason and method differ from the US. What's up? Oh, he's putting his headphones on. So a little too absolute. EU circuits do derate, but the reason and method differ from the US, which makes it look like they don't. Break it down cleanly. The NEC US ambient temperature, number of current carrying conductors in a raceway, continuous load rule, 80% of breaker rating, breaker listing requirements, conservative assumptions baked into the NEC tables. That's by 20 amp circuit in the US is really a 16 amp continuous circuit. In the EU, they don't have the continuous load concept. Instead, they assume breakers are designed to carry 100% of the rated current continuously. Wiring ampacity tables already assume continuous duty, so they just overbuild. Ambient temperature corrections are built into the tables, and fewer conductors per conduit are more surface-mounted cable runs. Higher base. Oh, and that also does make a difference too. They have a higher base voltage because they run 200 and we run a 100. 120, and they run 200 to 240, or to 250 actually. Higher base voltage, lower current. So 16 amp US circuit actually intended to run at 16 amp continuously. It's intended to, but you can't trust people. That's the core of the misunderstanding. Oh, sorry, EU circuit is actually intended to continuously run 16 amp continuously. So they have built all their circuits up over what we do, apparently, which is fine. And then it lists a bunch of the codes that we can go and check if it's not hallucinating. Cool. What you got, Brian? Uh-oh, I don't hear you. Let's do this. Let's make this thing smaller so I can see your face. I don't hear you. Is it me? Roadcaster multi-track. Let me do a test speaker. Oh, actually, let me put us in little squares so I can see if it thinks you're talking. All right, so I'm yellow so it knows when I'm talking. Yours isn't yellow so it doesn't know you're talking. Did it? It changes the microphone on me sometimes. Did it change your microphone? It did that to Mark the other day too. He was talking to the good one, and it went to like his earphones or whatever. No? Uh-oh. Let me check your volume. Your volume's almost all the way up. Okay. He's gonna come out and come back in. That usually fixes stuff. Okay, so I see what he's saying about the EU, but it's not. We're not talking about the EU here. We're talking about the US. And most electricians are trying to fulfill this for years. For every reason, people put them on pedestals like they're doctors. Oh, carpenter. Yeah, sort of. They're a little bit like a carpenter. There we go. I hear you now. Yes.
Browser.
The browser had to ask permission and covered it.
Who knows? I was running the little test, the diagnostic, and I could see my levels, and I hit record, and it could hear me. So I think the problem is the server. Who knows? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm here. Well, and here's the thing: is you can absolutely run it 100%. Just check your insurance first,
or do it for less than an hour.
And that's the thing is, I had this heated discussion with a gentleman on social media the other day saying, no, you can absolutely install them yourself. You don't need an electrician. I said, my friend, you really, really do. And no, actually it wasn't that. He was saying, no, you don't need to buy the fancy box. You can just get the regular one. It's rated for it. And I'm like, no, you need the good one because and he's like, my electrician said you don't. I'm like, right. How many houses has he burnt down so far? That's not, I don't care what your electrician said. Sandy Monroe's done, shown all these different brands of boxes that were all burnt up because they were the wrong thing for it. My electrician's got probably 2 or 3 of them that he's gathered from different houses.
Are we talking like the plug they're using the dollar store plug instead of the industrial?
I mean, yes, it's still a home dryer plug. It's still good. It's still rated for that. But like you said, you plug it in, it pulls 42 amps, 45 amps for 8 hours, 10 hours. And then in some homes you unplug and plug the other car in. Maybe you've got a Hummer and you're plugged in for days.
Yes, exactly.
Come on, just please, I beg of you, don't burn your house down.
Do not burn your house down. Because the like you said, the Hummer, you're going to pull, if you're plugged in at a 40, you're going to plugged in 24 hours with your Hummer to get it full again. Your Cybertruck will be about 15 hours from zero to full at 40 amps.
Yes. I mean,
So
it's well, but my 110, I can pull, I can plug a space heater in and run it for days, no problem. Great.
you shouldn't.
I mean, probably shouldn't, but we're talking about different stuff, man.
Yeah.
Different stuff.
Just because the space heater will go to your line's rating, like if you can get a 15 amp space heater, doesn't mean they expect you to put it on your 15 amp circuit. They have 20 amp circuits in people's houses sometimes.
No, I'm not worried because it's got a strong kick at the top.
Oh,
you know what I mean? When you first turn it on is when it pulls the highest load.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
But EVs don't do it that way though.
Well, EVs don't. They just go all the way. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh man. And so
go ahead. What kind of I just got back from China.
Tell us about China.
Yeah. So it was a last minute trip. What happened was I only had 2 contacts in China ever. And when I went to the Shanghai Auto Show, neither were helpful. I'd met them both through Kyle from Out of Spec. Yeah. And he had said, these are some people I've dealt with. I can't, And so I had a notification on WeChat, and it was from one of them, and it was BYD, my rep, saying, I'm no longer at BYD. Good luck, everybody. Take care. I'm off to greener pastures. And I was like, so do I delete WeChat at this point? Because the only other contact I have is at Xiaopeng.
No, don't delete WeChat because it's going to be hard to get back in. I found that out.
Didn't think of that. So I was like, I'm just, what do I do? So I jumped over to the Xiaopeng contact and said, by the way, I'm still up for whatever. And they messaged me back and said, okay, so you have a lot of experience with FSD. You've worked with Sandy Monroe. You've had him on as a guest a number of times. Yeah. You do a lot of this stuff and you're into the engineering. We'd like to invite you to our event in like 2 weeks.
They've seen your work. They're like, hey, you're not just giving us the glitz and the glam. 2-second intro.
Yeah. And so they said, it's in like 2 weeks. And I said, I can't afford a last minute ticket. They said, we'll cover the ticket and the hotel.
Nice.
And come on out. And I was like, can I get a visa in time? And she's like, I can make it happen.
Oh, nice.
And just send me your pass, do this and that. And I sent it to her and she goes, Brian, look at your visa. You have a multiple entry visa already. Yeah. I'm like, I do? I guess I do. So done, solved.
Nice. They just had to know you're coming as press.
Just had to know I was coming. Well, she was going to it's a multiple entry tourist visa. She goes, if they ask, you're here for tourism.
You are touring.
I mean, I am. I'm not taking any jobs away from anyone in the local economy.
Right.
So I get there. I was the first of the international press to arrive. So the day before the event, they took me to the headquarters, gave me a tour of the private VIP museum they have. Which is, it looks like a normal museum, but it's on the other side of, the security check-in kind of place. Mm-hmm. And I met with one of the product managers for their self-driving. Oh, nice. And then we all hung out. And then they're like, he's coming to dinner with us. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
So we had a lengthy chat about all kinds of things, autonomy. And then the next day is the actual event. And when I get there, I'm with the big international media group.
Yes.
And we've been talking all morning, and then my 2 PR people come in and kidnap me. Oh. And everyone's like, what the heck did he do wrong? No, Brian, you're going for a 2-hour drive with the guy you met yesterday.
Nice.
We're gonna show you VLA 2.0 3 months before it comes out.
Wow, you got a beta test.
Yes, and we've got the car already rigged up with cameras. And yes, your cameraman can be in the back seat. So we're not going to just send you selective clips.
Nice.
And it was fascinating. And they go, yeah. And besides, we kind of wanted to do this. We just had to get final permission, and everyone else is going to do the tour you did yesterday. So you're not missing anything.
Nice.
So I got to check out their new driverless system, and or you know what I'm talking about. And
they got some feedback.
Yeah, and I would say they are 2 years behind Tesla. It drives
Which
like
is still way ahead of many others.
ahead of many others. It feels like a very sophisticated, a very good version of version 11,
Oh, okay. So
which
not
is
like
to
8.
say,
Yeah.
no, more like 11.
Nice.
It behaved as poorly as my version 11, except in much more complicated situations. Because they'd mapped out this big loop that took us through construction zones and roundabouts and funky U-turns and anything they could think of that was
That would trip it up.
that would trip it up.
I like that.
And
I like that.
over the course of 2 hours, we only had someone said, "Oh, be careful! They might have a remote operator driving it." I was like, "Not with the mistakes it made.
Yeah.
No, because it made some, dumb mistakes. When making the U-turn, it kind of got confused. It was a divided highway with a U-turn before the stoplight, and it got kind of confused, almost hit the divide, the concrete, and then tried to turn the wrong way on the divided highway.
But it is meant to be supervised, right? So
it is supervised, yes.
I'm not scared of that.
Yeah. And and that's not a mistake someone back at HQ would have made.
No, not while they know they're being watched.
If this route was on rails, that would not have happened. So I got to see some remarkably good behavior. The thing I despised about it was it flies right up on the car in front of you at a stoplight before stopping.
Yeah.
But that's how they drive.
Ooh.
That's how they drive.
Right.
So
if it didn't do that, it scared them. Like, well, it's broken.
If it didn't do that, they'd go, boy, this thing's kind of tame.
This thing sucks.
Yeah.
Versus this drives like I do. I'm comfortable.
Now, I've told you about some of the excessive bells and whistles they put in Chinese vehicles.
Yes, you have. What did this one have?
This one didn't have anything stupid or crazy. This one just had normal good stuff. But there is another car. One of the other journalists was telling me about it, and I said, "You're joking." And he goes, "I'll email it to you." A company called IM has a feature that is a little over the top, in my opinion. You know what I really need from my SUV is a 10-minute hot shower.
Like a camper?
It's not a camper. It's just an external hose that you stand next to the car and.
Well, I can see that being. It doesn't need to be hot, but I can see that being useful if it's like if you've gone off into the woods or the mountains or the desert and you've SUV'd it like the commercials, and then you want to rinse off the dust. Yeah,
yeah. This is something you can buy for cars in the U.S. for. RV shops can get these outfitted for you, and they can do continuous because they, basically wrap it around the exhaust pipe. But to put it on from the manufacturer,
that's weird.
That's how big is the demand? And I think the answer is we just got to move units, baby.
Oh, okay.
We'll do anything.
Unless there's a Chinese version of like Jeep. I don't get it unless there's like the truth in advertising where if they show the guy showering in the mountains in the commercial, it needs to be on the car where you can shower in the mountains. Nobody's going to use it.
I would suspect. Well, with like a lot of features, it's like the swimming pool at the apartment complex. I had a client who said, "We're getting rid of all of the swimming pools," and I said, "Don't do that." They were paying like thousands per month per property in insurance for pools that no one uses. I said, of course they don't use them. They think they're going to use them. It makes your property, it makes every apartment worth more.
Right.
Because you have a pool.
And I might go swimming one day.
I might. And and I think most people will go swimming once or more. But, you're not going to have 300 people in the pool every day. That's crazy.
Yeah. They should ask their insurance company if they can do like a counter or if they have a maximum occupancy or something that would get their rates down.
Well, this was 25 years ago, but
okay, yeah,
still
going to count it with a clicker, click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Or
make the hours more restrictive. Yeah, go ahead, show me.
Yeah,
show me what you got.
Let me see if I can't. Want to copy the image link? I'm going to put it in the Twitter window. And
I love that your mic does such a good job of gating back to 0 when you're not talking.
Thanks.
But when you talk, those fans are noticeable.
Oh, they're still there. I will have to adjust it.
Only when you talk, but there is fans in the background.
I've got a couple sound panels I can move over. Let me try that this week and see what happens.
Good to see you. If in Arizona.
Yeah, it's Timothy. Good to see you. And
That's who?
Timothy.
Hello, Timothy.
And let's paste this picture in here. This one, Marcus alerted us to it. I thought he was coming in to talk about it, but I think that he got held up a little bit. So we're going to read this real quick, and I want to get you guys' reactions on it. I'm going to shrink this window a little bit so I can. There we go.
Pardon my yawning. My jet lag is. Whew.
Yes.
It was a very quick trip.
Yes.
I had 53 hours of transit time, counting both directions, and was on the ground for 60 hours.
Yes.
That's a quick turnaround.
But again, quick turnaround.
They paid for the ticket, so.
Right.
And the thing was, every day we were trying to get out to see the Model YL,
yes.
and every day they kept us busy. And finally, on the last day, the second to last day, I said, "Look, I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Oh, there you go.
If you want to schedule something for me, that's cool. But if it runs long, I'm walking out the door and hopping in a taxi. Because if I come this far and I don't review the YL, my viewers will
we would have stuff to say.
more upset than I would be, and I would be very upset. They're like, oh,
Brian, you traveled 48 hours in the air and you didn't even look at this car for 5 minutes.
Tesla did not make it easy.
Of course not.
Which, well, I mean, I'm already here. All you have to do is call the local showroom and say, help this guy out. Nah.
They don't do that.
No. Well, no.
Not for you.
He never got back to me, never helped in any way. I finally had someone I was hanging out with. I said, can you just call them and ask if they have one on display at this location? Yeah. And then we just showed up and they're like, nice. Oh. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not asking for your permission to film, but I would love to get your help. And they're like, no habla. So I assume that's what she said.
Right.
So I'm very tired.
I understand,
audience.
I understand even when they're like wanting you there, like with Kyle, they make it not so easy. Timothy tells you hello, and he's asking us about the F-150 Lightning. So last I heard, they had paused it, and then their aluminum factory caught fire, so they blamed
that.
Yeah, they blamed that, and then changed it to a fat Volt, and I already called the Volt a fat Prius. So.
I love it. So here's an interesting trend. Xiaopeng, while I was there, there were two events that I was there for that were official. One was, here's our 4 new models.
Okay.
And they're minor updates from the same model last year, except we have now added to all 4 of these an EV feature. So they're going the other direction. They started as a pure electric company, and they have begun selling EREVs, the extended range EVs with a little generator.
But that'd be like Tesla doing that, and I wouldn't really trust that engine.
I don't know if they're making the engine themselves or if they're just buying one. But I agree with you. But the reason is it expands their market. Last year, they grew 126%. They sold over 400,000 cars last year, and their numbers are doing very good. And there are parts of China that are very cold. Think northern China. When you're in the mountains, it's very cold. And
Russia.
Yes. Well, picture, Mongolians.
Yes.
That's the same kind of terrain we're talking about. So they've had huge sales gains in the north of China, where it's very cold, where it's, -20, -30. And then and so that's helped them. So here's the fun thing. Why don't we put in a big battery, not a full size, but a good size battery. So you can do
Dodge and Ford are doing?
Dodge is Dodge.
Like Dodge says they're going to do. And like
oh
Ford
yeah, they're not
doing.
Yeah. But yes, we're going to put in a pretty darn good. Well, what was the range? Remember the insane range that they were saying the Ram was going to have?
550 miles.
So their new minivan from Xiaopeng has a range of
1,000 miles.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I was guessing on that one.
1,000. And all of us in the press pool were sitting there going, well, that's the wrong number. That's the wrong note. And they're like, well, I mean, I do know people who drive 1,000 miles a month. It's like, right, but not 1,000 miles without
city.
plugging back in.
Right.
Because every time you get home or somewhere, you're going to plug it back in. That gas is going to go bad. But if that's but my advice to those buyers is just put 2 or 3 gallons in. Don't fill it.
Yeah, you don't have to fill it.
You don't want to drag that weight around anyway.
No, yeah. On your tires, your suspension, all that, the brakes.
Yeah.
I've done 2,000, 3,000 mile trips at a time, but not without stopping.
Well, that's the thing. I was talking with my son about it last night, my adult son, and he was saying, well, I guess it'd be a neat to never have to stop on a trip. I go, but you have to stop. You have to. And if you say, well, I don't want to deal with the hassle of waiting even 15 minutes to charge, I'm in too big of a rush. Right. But while you're hitting the bathroom, I could put in 6-7 gallons of gas. Yeah. Welcome.
Hello,
Marcus.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we hear you.
Good. I did it right the first time without
pulling a Brian, I think they're calling it.
We are Brian. Only today. Sometimes I do it. So a minivan that can go 1,000 miles. Your kids are going to stop you first. Or if you're minivaning a customer because you're an executive limo, your customers. Yeah.
There's no reason. But hey, if it helps you have a sales advantage, a marketing advantage, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, but then what are they going to do with your first one that can't do 1,000 miles because you had to actually get some of that space back from the fuel tank to give somebody some leg room?
So the Chinese EVs I was looking at, because even though I didn't get to get out as much, I was in a lot of taxis and they're all electric.
Yeah.
I was in a Hongqi, I was in a Trump-chi, I was in all kinds of stuff. And every time I would look up what I'm in and then Google it through a VPN. And like the first car I was in, it has a nice big sunroof. It's got endless leg room. It's got a 10.2-inch screen instead of 14, 15. But it was a $23,000 car and it was very comfortable. So how do you compete with that?
By blocking them from your country.
If you can't beat them, ban them.
Yeah, I saw somebody, not somebody, a couple somebody's had reviewed the updated Wulong Hongdong Mini.
Yeah.
And I think it's looking like a Transformer roller skate to like a nice, cheap, small car.
When I saw it last year, my biggest takeaway is this is a real car. It's small, but it's nice. Yeah, they've gotten quite good.
Yeah. And so you did get a chance to see the Model Y L, and I assume it's on your channel.
It is. It went up this morning.
Oh, this morning. Okay, that's why I hadn't pushed it to make it up as a sleep. I will take a look. So what did you think of the Model Y L as an overview?
I really would have liked just another inch or two in the third row, but I can fit in the third row.
Okay.
And Rosh is like, well, I'll be over here getting B-roll. I'm like, nope, you're getting in the car with me. We're going to do this, both of us together, because we're going to sit in every seat.
Oh, okay.
And if you put the second row all the way back, you have a mile of legroom. And if you put it in a more reasonable position, the third row has a modicum of legroom.
Okay.
It's really nice, the feature where you just hit the buttons to fold the seats, because the seats will go to the position they need to be in order to fold flat. You could camp quite comfortably in it.
So it sounds like then just like the same way that the bioweapon defense mode was made for China, and then it was just cheaper to give it to everybody. It sounds like the fold up, fold down seats were made for the Model Y L, and it just got them the volume discount to put it on all of the non-standards.
I think it'd be more about the engineering of it that would make it standard, but yes. The other thing that the YL has is it's not Grok, but it's basically Grok. It has a feature that's very common in China, which is more than one microphone. So if you're sitting in the back seat, you can say, hey, Tesla, turn on my seat warmer, and it'll turn on your seat warmer.
Wow.
It knew where the sound came from.
Knows where you're sitting. Yeah, so there's a lot of features like that. And all the cars have features like that. I did try it in Xiaopeng's car, Did not go great.
Oh.
Did not go great, but it's not optimized for English. So, and the fun
But
thing
that was the next question. There was some of them don't accept any English. This one accepts some English, is just not good at it. Nice.
So the thing is, people are like, oh, because you went there, you're going to be soft on them now. I'm like, so we had a press conference after the product event, and I was invited to ask a question, and I did, and they called on me, and I said, hey, so I just had a chance to check out your VLA 2.0 this morning. Good stuff. It's still a little rough around the edges. David Moss in the US just completed an 11,000-mile journey without touching the steering wheel. When are you going to do that?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. I am going to answer it. I'm going to answer it in Chinese. All of us are wearing little earpieces. The lady at the back of the room talking into what looks like a Roku remote, telling us, translating it. But I think that's a sufficiently hard question. And I messaged David afterwards. I said, he knew who you were. He'd seen the video.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun.
So they definitely wanted your input, and that's why they picked you, because they didn't want one of these rosy, flowery 10-second overviews.
I think it's also because everyone else they asked was at CES.
And that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at the porn bot. Let's look at this robot that can do your groceries, not your groceries, your laundry 8 times slower than it needs to.
Let's look at Boston Dynamics do a backflip and
break its heel
off. Is it heel? I was still very impressed. Because I don't need it to do that, but that was good. There was but what was crazy is after it ended, a lady came over to me. She goes, "You drove it this morning?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm the head of the product."
Nice.
I'm the manager, and I had, and she asked me, and she's like asking me pointed, specific questions.
Yeah.
And then the next day, at the second half of the event, which is our 100,000th P7 is coming off the line.
Yeah.
P7 Plus is rolling off the line. The CEO is here again, and he's doing a big speech. And my PR rep is like, "Oh, Brian, you have to get a selfie with him."
Nice.
So she drags me over, and he goes, "So you drove it?" And I have some questions. So for like 2 minutes,
the CEO didn't have to drive yet. Wow.
Oh no, he's driven it. He
wanted to see you.
He wanted to talk to me about what I thought of it, because he's been to California twice. He's driven 13 and 14.
Okay.
And he wanted to, and he's like, "I hope you come back when we release it," because
nice.
Yeah,
they're gonna make some changes.
And the thing is, there's like 200 people there.
Yeah.
So, and all of them have cameras. So I'm like, I'm going to pose in every second of this interaction. And sure enough, one of the other people's like, "Oh, here's a pictures of you having the conversation." I'm like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Lee, happy Sunday. Go ahead.
Oh, last thing on that is I have this little game I play with my kids where I say things that sound ridiculous, that can't possibly be true. And then I have them look it up and find out what the real answer is, because it's hilarious. When you see this big metal thing at a museum, I'm like, what is that? Like a steam donkey? They go up and look at the plaque. It's a steam donkey. It is. So what I said is, I was talking to the CEO of the company, Mr. Xiaopeng, I guess.
Yes. Okay.
His noun is he, and my son's like, "You mean his pronoun?" I go, "No,
his noun is he."
his name is He Xiaopeng.
Oh, I got you.
It's spelled different than the company name. They simplified it for international,
like Toyota. Yeah.
Mr. Toyota. Yeah, that's his name. So it was kind of
awesome.
Fun.
So that was awesome that they didn't even tell the lead engineer that you were going to be coming and driving the product.
No, she knew. She just didn't know who it was until.
Okay. That was you who did this. Let me talk to you for a second.
Yeah, let me pull you aside.
Let me pick your brain a little bit.
Because you get to talk to the engineers, and having spent probably a total of 4 hours with the product manager for this exact product at dinner, and then in the car, I got to ask everything. So, yeah. How are you doing, man?
Marcus?
I'm good. Hey, I'm good. I can't complain. I'm out here. I can't complain. Won't do no good if I did, but I'm doing good. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Complain at all.
I can't. I'm good at it.
You're good at it. So you guys will see the theme that I was talking about earlier when I share this letter that Marcus got a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll see why I started with the electrician before I brought this up while I was waiting for Marcus.
Mhm.
All right,
Okay.
so let's show this on the screen. And so this is
I
from-
love that. I saw that. That was hilarious.
Yes. So this is from
Oh, my
Orlando Speed
Feelings.
World. Yeah. Look at the date. This wasn't like, when the Volt was new. This
No. Oh, well, the Volt is still allowed.
Yeah, that too.
The hybrid.
Yeah.
You read it.
Yeah, the hybrids are more likely to catch. Okay, so let's get on my narrator voice. Regarding electric vehicles, January 8th, 2026. After careful consideration and research, Orlando Speed World Dragway has decided that we can no longer allow fully electric vehicles to race at our facility. We have been reviewing the emergency response procedures for specific vehicles. Which ones? And after information provided from these departments, which departments? We have determined that the risk associated with racing and testing electric vehicles are too high. You guys do testing? Anyway.
You guys are high.
Right.
These risks include... No. These risks include... There's no S in there. No risks. These risks include the battery may release toxic and flammable gas after a collision. Everything on your platform, everything on your property may do that, right? Continuing, first responders may not be able to confirm that the car is off.
I don't. I mean, what does that mean? The motor's not running. You can tell because it's not spinning, but
Right.
the gas car that crashed is still on.
Right. The engine may not be spinning, but it could still have 12 or 48 volts running through it.
Well, just to combine that, they do probably do have a kill switch, a pull, usually it's typically on the outside,
but not the stock ones.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
Doors may not unlock from the outside after a collision. That's again every car, and I know they're aiming at the Model S and Model 3 and such and that. But since 2012, they ran into this consideration on the Model S that. If it determines you're incapacitated or if the airbags have gone off, after it's done moving, it opens the doors. And when I say opens the doors, it pops the door handles out. So they're unlocked. You can deal with it if they're not pinched. Anyway, continuing on with this reading, if the driver is unconscious after the incident, including a medical incident, there's a chance that the chassis is live, and removing the driver would put the responder at risk.
Is that true? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of the high voltage system
going through the outside of the car.
The chassis.
If the chassis goes live, the system shuts down, even on the home builds.
I want to pause for a second. I want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good to the people that don't want to be properly educated or want to hear the truth about it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It sounds good for people that just assume.
Well, if they don't know anything, this sounds reasonable. But to any of us who know anything about this, it sounds like a bunch of lies. So
it's in writing. It must be true.
It's in all caps.
They did research.
The car may not roll with the power disconnected, and towing the car with the current equipment would be impossible. If you've wrecked a regular car and left it in sixth, the wheels aren't going to roll there either. But let's continue on. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting their spiel. Electric vehicles require specific fire suppression systems, such as water baths.
That is true. It is harder to put out a fire should it start. But
the water bath is a European requirement in only one town. That you can pick the car up and dunk it in a container full of water. They have the tow trucks for that. All their tow trucks in that city are the crane types. So they just, instead of doing it gently, they just grab you through the roof and dunk it for a day or two. This will take effect immediately and will only apply to full electric vehicles at all events, including Test and Tunes and Orlando Speed at the Orlando Speed World Dragway. Hybrid vehicles will continue to be allowed. So the vehicle with both flammable powertrains is allowed, but the one we're not fine. You know, the liquid bombs, they're fine.
So I would love to quiz you, gentlemen. Hybrids are still allowed. Remind me, between hybrid or gas or electric, which is the most likely to go en fuego?
Hybrid.
Yeah, by like a factor of 20.
At least 20, yeah.
Yeah, could you pull it back up again?
Yeah.
And scroll to the top, because the quiz ain't over. So far, you guys have got a perfect score, but let's see here. Hey, gas cars, they don't release toxic, flammable stuff, do they?
All the time. Even when they're sitting still and off. Like a gas stove.
Yeah. But certainly there's nothing flammable in a combustion vehicle.
Oh, it's internal combustion.
It's supposed to be internal. I feel like that might be a problem.
Right.
Hey, you want to pause right there as well, right? I just want to put this out there for the ones that don't know on the other end. Let's not include your cars with your high power outleters, like your nitrous cars, your cars that run on methane. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got to take in consideration all that too. Now, but let's just keep going. You know, high risk stuff out there now.
But there's a concern about safety that you can run in your flip flops and t-shirt in a 3-second car.
I'm gonna be transparent now. At a proper, like, you'll only see smoke at a legit.
But I'm saying like these people are.
I have seen some backyard tracks. They do that, which
this track, they've got video of a guy doing in a 3-second car, in his t-shirt, not his fire suit.
Well, it's probably a fire t-shirt.
I never heard of it.
It's his tactical tank top. Yeah. And so with our current equipment, towing a car that is not, it would be impossible. What is your current equipment? I mean, this is
you can't tow.
My question to both of you is, does the fact that they could not move a car that had wheels still in the drive position, does that pass the sniff test?
No, because if you run into a wall in a gas car, the engine is seized.
They have to have a way to move it.
Yeah,
I've never seen a raceway that didn't have a tractor.
Right. Yeah,
or something.
Most of them use the tractor. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Or a loader,
or dollies, or you have dollies where you can lift it.
And that's what most of them do. Yeah, dollies.
Free rolling dolly, but.
And you've got if they're going to claim weight, remember that the BMW M3 weighs more than the Model 3 Performance.
I forgot about that. So go ahead and scroll down. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything on the quiz before I give you your scores. Okay. I just love that your Prius is still permitted.
Right.
Because we know we're not going to get embarrassed by it. When I was at, so that's enough of the quiz. When I was in Tampa, we were at a real janky little speedway, Clearwater Showtime is what it was called.
Yeah.
And it was janky. And the guy came out in his tuned Escalade. He's like, guys, you don't know what you're in. I'll race anyone here. And the guy was like, oh, I feel bad, but let's line him up against a cyber beast. And it didn't go well. Let's just say that it was a little embarrassing. And all of us were like, oh, buddy, you did your best. And it's, the Escalade is a very comfortable, very nice vehicle, but you're competing against a different thing.
Yeah.
It's like a propeller engine versus a jet. I don't want to compete against a jet. It's a different technology.
Yeah.
Let's ban them.
I'm looking for a photo. That's why I got it.
So let me speak on some of this right quick, because this is what I do and what I already know what the obvious is. But I want to go back to the one thing Kacey has stated. And see, this is why I tell my people, I don't know a lot. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot. I do know enough. If I don't know, I know the right people that do. For one, Kacey just highlighted some stuff that I forgot to mention in my YouTube video that I did on this, because I did speak about the Plaid. He just said, I forgot about that 2012. They did go back to the drawing board and redesign some safety mechanism when it pertained to something like that in the event that happened with the door handles. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Also, I mentioned in my YouTube, like, for example, of my Plaid, that car got so many safety features pertaining to when it comes to an event, something like this, that My fab guy, we found out that the hard way. You know, it's on my YouTube. I talk more in depth about it. But for example, you know, my car was modified a full-blown race car. When I say seats, sensors, you know, everything. They learned the hard way. For example, he didn't know this. He dealt with Teslas before, but for example, he was testing some resistors for my seats because you know you have to trick the seats because they got occupancy, you know, different things for you know.
Yeah.
So they disconnect the battery completely. They were doing some you know some wiring and things. When they were hooking the car back up to test the sensors out and everything, they left one of the for example, I forgot what the one of the sensors is called a geo sensor. They left it hanging. Long story short, soon they hooked the car back up, the airbags deployed immediately.
Ooh.
When it was that car thought it was on his side. And he was like, wow, because he know this, but it was a new experience learning on the Plaid and going forward to the new vehicles.
That was on your Plaid?
Huh?
That was on your Plaid?
Yeah, my Plaid. Yeah. I got a
I didn't know your airbag went off.
Wow.
Wow.
What's that? Yeah,
but I didn't know your airbag went off. Wow.
Yeah. It was a lesson learned. It was a lesson learned because there was something new with the Plaid. They was just, you know, my car was first one that was doing what it's doing to the the level that it is at now for safety and so on. But he learned that. He was like, wow. And there's some other things, of course, like they don't talk about, like the pyro fuse. Man, that car can take a nice impact. It's gonna pop that pyro fuse pretty much. And when that pyro fuse pop, that's gonna pretty much kill that power to that 12-volt battery. As far as people getting shocked, like they said on that bullet point and things like that. Yeah, exactly. But I went more in depth to talk about it on my thing. But
and everybody's got a fuse like that. It might not be pyrotechnic, but it works the same way. That if there's a leak to the chassis or if you're in a collision, but they don't work anymore.
Exactly. But going forward, though, as technology, as they see what work and what they need to redo some things, like you stated in 2012 and so on, that is so true. But like I said, that Plaid has so many other safety things. Only thing about certain things, I can't talk about it. I didn't put it out there because I'm a grudge racing car. I didn't want people to know how depth, my car went into depth to get done to where it, running now and whatever.
Right. Brian had mentioned taking your Prius.
NDAs, I got to 13.
Who is that young man?
That's me. With my 2004 Prius.
No, that's not you.
But you see what I'm saying, though? But I'm glad Kacey brought that up.
Baby.
I forgot about that.
Well, it's...
Hi, Highlander.
Hey, he's in the house. It's crazy that I didn't realize that that they would put the gyro sensor with the seat sensor, but that's
no. That one particular with it, but it all has something to do with. See, I can't say too much about because I don't want to talk too much about my car. It's a secret grudge racing car. Time car. I don't show time, whatever. But my car's a one-on-one because I have some special stuff done. It is a special car now. That is a special one. I'm gonna say that. But I'm just kind of giving because that was just a lesson learned that they learned that because it wasn't like your average P100. Like for example, it was just something new that Chester started doing that he figured it out. Like wow. It cost him money because he had to get the airbags replaced. Of course, they get the car, make sure you get it clear, make sure it wasn't no accident. Because because the record stated at the time through the ECMU that the airbag was deployed, but we had to clarify, that it wasn't due to no accident, etc.
Right.
But it's safety there. The safety's there. That's all I'm saying, and that's why when I saw this, I felt like this is some straight up BS, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say why I really because I'm there. A lot of these petrol heads, some of them, not all, because a lot of people respect when my car run and do what they respect. They like, that's nice. But you got some guys, they do not love EV, but then also they feel butthurt if they get beat by those cars. And they see what those cars can do. They only know it's going to get better. So
yeah.
This is why I feel to keep their gas guys happier. This was someone will try to come and play. Hopefully it'll trickle down to different places, which is
right. That's probably
interestingly good. Something I recently found out is that my son's Model 3 doesn't have seat weight sensors because they've replaced it with in-cabin radar. So it can tell new one, if it's luggage versus person and not be constantly telling you to please buckle up your backpack, which is
buckle up that backpack.
Which is obnoxious. By the way, my seat right here that I'm in, airbags have been disabled. Apparently when Tim was doing some tests, he's like, I wonder if these are still live, and he's poking it with the 16 volt, and he went ahead and set one off in his garage, which is great if you have a change of pants handy. So that's exciting and fun. the safety is really incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
So this is the same Prius as the drag strip. I like these cars. They're what do you call a lady in the streets, but a freak in the other situations. So this one's
I
pulling
think
70 miles per gallon, but also embarrassed that little Fox body, or not Fox body, that little the one after the Fox body, that white Mustang you saw me in the picture with.
have either of you driven a Chevy Bolt?
Bolt, no.
They're
Bolt,
real punchy. They're
Yeah.
real punchy. My assessment of it, having driven one at an event, was it feels like a real punchy rental car in Europe. Because it was very small, but fun.
Yeah.
And the
When you
reality
say-
is, yeah.
When you say punchy, you mean like, ooh, it jerks you a little bit. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Like
Well,
what you're saying?
I mean, it's got good torque. It's got
Yeah.
remarkable torque. And, having driven a couple of gas cars in the last few years, you just go, ugh, this is sluggish and unresponsive.
Yeah.
And then you're coasting down the mountain pass and you're thinking, just wasting gas. I'm using extra gas to keep the car slower.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like Brianna Wu, she likes to drive old Porsches and stuff. And
Mhm.
people are like, why don't you like the new cars? They have more horsepower this than the other. And we already know she doesn't like electric because it's not her style of racing. So electrics are better at American style straight line performance. And she likes the European twisties. And then she said that with the older cars, the way that you drive them, with the power to weight and the way they respond, and as you're turning them, and the how heavy they actually are, you can have more fun with them in places where it's legal to do than you can with the new stuff where you have to keep out of them all the time, and so it's or they can't handle the turning as much. So it's,
When it comes to a professional, I know better than to question their taste.
oh yes,
Yeah, I mean they know what especially they know what they like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Like, and that's a good point. Like I say, I only speak from what I like. I like drag racing, straight track, what. But now, for example, you can get with it's somewhere on Unplugged. But anyway, one of my guys, they do course racing in there. They do track, the thing, and he said it handles much better than with some upgrades, of course, some modifications. It handles much better than a typical ice car that he's usually used to using in the past, But once again, everybody got their preference. You gotta see the way I see things are. People are always quick to judge things before they not even test it out. For example, like the yoke. I remember when the yoke was first introduced on the plaids. That's how you heard people like, "Oh, that's stupid," isn't it? But they ain't never touched it, never even. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of questioned it myself. I was like, "Wow, I wonder how it's going." But then when I first, drove one, I got my car and I like this is the way I put one in my 2013. I said this is the way because I just love it. Because we used to driving like this, that ain't I love it. So it just
The people yeah. I'll never get over the removal of the stock. And I said, well, first of all, it may come back if enough people agree with you. And it has come back, but it took me 30 seconds to get used to it. Okay, maybe 3 or 4 minutes to get used to it. Okay. And it's fine. My teenager has never driven a car that has a blinker stock.
Oh,
which is okay. That's weird.
Yeah,
but he's driven so much of the miles he's driven on FSD that I don't know how many times he's even used a blinker. Not very many. Not very many.
Besides emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of a track. So this is me behind the red one.
Uh-huh.
The 90D and a P100D.
I know.
You guys might recognize this track too.
I don't.
It's a little track out of North Carolina. One of our friends named Kyle happens.
Oh, is that where his
full control of
facility is?
Yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't have full control. He's just one of the many tenants that has property.
There's practically full control over this thing now.
Well, over the track because the other tenants are probably not using it, but he only uses it probably a few hours a week. If they're out there using it a few hours a week, you'd never see them.
Never.
But it's like an industrial park. It was supposed to be a big thing. It is a big thing, but it's a huge financial failure because bad timing with COVID and all that.
I think COVID knocked it out.
Yeah, they were just in the process of getting it done. They built parts of the track, but it was supposed to be a much more expansive testing track, and it just
Okay, because it's a
couldn't.
little tame for what they wanted to do. Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
if you because I looked up the property and read the the whole everything I could find about it because I thought it was fascinating. But no, Kyle only has one part of one building.
Yeah,
But
and
it's
then
basically
the track.
an HOA, so he's got access to the track.
Nice. Yeah.
So I will be ducking out here in a couple minutes, giving you
I understand.
gentlemen back your show. Any other questions about China before I go?
Yeah. How did they take your inputs? Like, did they give you input on your input?
Yeah, they understood, they appreciated it. They know what they're up against.
Mm.
One thing that they shared with me that I thought was very true and accurate is right now there is nowhere on earth where you can get a fair comparison between Tesla's FSD and anything that's Chinese, because what's running in China
It's not the same as here.
It's not the same as here, and it's not really trained on China.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing is a softer version of it. Videos of China and a base level understanding of driving. And I said, well, couldn't you just take your car to the US? You can do that. You have offices there. They go, yeah, but it's not trained on US roads. I'm like, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So until the training is sufficient,
and the Great Firewall makes that hard to do. Because if you get your car trained on video in China, how are you going to merge the China video training with the actual Chinese data collection?
Yeah, you have to just gather it afresh on both sides of that market.
Yeah.
Of that wall, I guess. So yeah, and what I asked him was, how many manufacturers are not working on FSD in China? And he's like, none come to mind that are not working on it. All of them. I go, what about Wuling? He goes, okay, yeah, not them. They're not working on it.
Right. So if they were in the budget of the budget, or if they're making scooters.
Yes. But a lot of them
scooters probably got it too.
I don't know.
Maybe not actively.
Not actively. But the big thing is a number of manufacturers are partnered with other manufacturers. Huawei is already in 2 or 3 other brands. I don't think BYD is, but BYD controls so much of the market with their 3 brands.
So similar to how we keep saying that eventually somebody will license FSD once they get good enough. They already there in China.
They're already doing that. There's so much more cooperation between the brands than we see here, and it's crazy.
I can imagine
with the exception of BYD, who's like the 500-pound gorilla that won't play nice with anyone, including suppliers. You think Tesla's vertically integrated? Apparently, BYD only partners with glass and tires.
Wow.
They make their own brake pads.
What?
Wow. Yeah. So when you need, because they're like, this Yang Wang U9 is too fast. We need new carbon fiber brakes that don't exist. Well, guess we better continue making them. Highlander wants to know if I had a sponsor. Xiaopeng paid for my airfare and hotel, and the hotel included breakfast buffet and lunch. So, and the hotel was so nice, like $100 a night for a 5-star hotel. Wow. Oh, it's like, this is Motel 6 pricing places I go.
Right.
And it was like, when I checked in, I said, I can't find my USB cable. Do you know where I could get one? And they're like, which kind? And I'm like, C. They're like, we'll have someone bring one up.
Wow.
And they brought it up, and it's got, a little inventory tag on it so that they get it back. I'm like, oh, so nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. If you look lost in the lobby, they're like, can I help you find something? Everything all right? Oh, so nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. We disclose this, and yeah, it may have some minor effect in the way we talk about stuff, but probably not. But you can tell by the fact that that we got this consideration, and we disclose it to you, and you can decide what that means to you.
Yeah.
Versus
and the fact that I sat down, that I sat in the front row of the press conference and said, how long until you catch up with Tesla? I think should dispel any rumor that they're getting a softer treatment from me. People will still say it, but the reality is I I just would not have been able to go. I don't have that kind of money. So, yeah.
But even the way they responded to that question was like, yeah, I told you it wasn't scripted. It wasn't softball. They were struck by it.
Well, and actually his response was, if you're talking going east to west, it might take us 5 or 6 years to get there.
Oh,
with no interventions. And I was like, that's brutally honest.
Yeah.
That's brutally on. I don't even believe that. I think you'll get there quicker than that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a little better than 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks. We can do it by Christmas. We're gonna do hands free, coast to coast.
End of next year for sure. I feel like
this time definitely.
Yeah.
You mentioned this. If you had to guesstimate if you was out of the pocket cost for a trip like that, how much you think you probably would have been out of?
So because it was a last minute trip, definitely more. If I were to do a trip like that, the ticket I would get, I wouldn't pay more than probably $1,100 or $1,200, and the hotel, I wouldn't have stayed somewhere like that. I would probably pay $35 a night. And I know because I went to Shanghai last year, and that's what I did. I stayed at the Fish Inn in Shanghai. Yeah, but they don't want me doing that. They want me in the same hotel as the other journalists, so we can talk amongst each other, so that the bus can pick us up from the same place. So I would spend, including everything on the ground for a trip like that, probably $2,000-3,000.
Okay.
Yeah, is what I would pay. Yeah,
and if it was a couple hundred because they have their connections already, they probably had it on standby.
They probably have a group. They have a group rate for sure.
Oh yeah.
They did overpay for the airfare because it was last minute, but
they probably still got a corporate thing there. Like, hey, we have so many last minute tickets per year. If we don't use them, we waste them.
That's entirely possible. I beyond my expertise.
Yeah.
So Kacey, if you come up with questions, if you need me, let me know.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll
Good to see you both.
You too.
Right.
Get some rest.
Take care, guys.
Hey, do me a favor if you don't mind. Check out my channel. In the last video I did on it, I kind of share some things about certain safety that people just misled about, or just because I know,
Absolutely.
I know
Absolutely.
some of the people.
Well, and I might like to have a conversation with you where it's not recorded, because I'd love to hear some of the modifications that you're not willing to share publicly, because I did want to mention that Ryan Torres, who's like he's now head of customer experience or something at Tesla, but he's basically the North America product guy, bought a Model 3 Performance that had been tweaked by Unplugged Performance with a good 70,000 of upgrades. And if someone who works there and knows the cars inside out thinks, I know we can squeeze more out of it, it can be, he wouldn't buy it if it was a waste of money.
Yeah.
So I'll be very curious to have that conversation when we can.
Sure.
Definitely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. So I was looking up to see if there was any fresh news on the F-150 Lightning, because Timothy had asked about the yo-yo-ness of it. So one of the things I brought up on this whole drag strip thing was the race insurance. You've got it. I had it. So who do they think they are that they can outsmart an insurance company and blame it on them? I said, right. So yeah, who do they think they are that they can outsmart a insurance company and then blame it on insurance?
Man, this, like I say, man, you just gotta, once again, people that don't, it sounds good when people blur out things, it sounds good for the ones that don't know better or open to understand. That, like I tell people, that's why you got people like you and I that we know what's what, we like what we like, but we quick to debunk false information or misleading information out there. I mean, I'm all right for the truth, don't get me wrong, but when you just saying stuff and don't make sense,
right?
I mean, like you say, insurance, man, come on, man. This is one of the safest cars out there, man.
Right. I mean, if it was what they said it was, I would have never got that race insurance. They would have been like, nah, we can't. So let's see.
If you mind, I meant to message you. I've been watching some of the shows. I wasn't able to come on. I was busy or something.
Yeah.
What's up with the glasses? It's just
so these glasses are my screen. I can see everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can make them dark, or I can make them clear. They don't seem to have much of a range at the range that this camera is at.
Okay.
And because I was having the situation where I had the small teleprompter you saw, I could never actually use it for what it was made for, and then the big teleprompter took up too much room on my desk.
Okay.
And then this one is just glasses. I already wear glasses, so I got them with my prescriptions inside, and then so now I can see what I'm reading and and make eye contact with because now it's just the camera. It's not a giant shelf for an iPad and a big old mirror.
Yeah.
Or I have the looking off to the side of a regular screen.
Yeah,
because the camera's kind of bulky. I couldn't perch it on top of the laptop, and I couldn't get it in the right space on the big screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Glasses.
You got it on for a reason, and the reason is what you said.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks. Yeah. So the ones I was supposed to have were supposed to be thinner, clearer, and lighter, but it's looking like that company might go out of business before they actually get the products to people. So I asked them for a refund, and these ones were less expensive. They've got some coming out this year as developer models that are that have more screen in them at the same resolution, and should be more responsive. And then next year they should have you seen the Google the Samsung Gear and then the Apple Vision Pro. They should be like them in capabilities, but in this form factor, but a little thinner and a little lighter. Yeah.
So you seeing your show through the glasses?
Yeah.
Like the metal display? Oh my God! I need to get with you on that, then. Yeah. Wow.
You won't see anything because it knows where I'm looking, and that's behind.
Okay.
I told it to place the screen behind the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder. Let me set it into free mode.
Man.
There we go. And so now you can see my screen.
Oh my God. Bro, I'm about to get with you, Kacey, man. You know, I'm looking at the metal display. I may save away on that.
Oh yeah. All right, let me get it back on.
Leave it up to Kacey, man.
So what I do is I pin the screen on top of the camera lens. Looking for the light. Okay, good. It's locked, and I went into the menu as well, which I didn't need the menu.
Wow.
And so you can have right now it's set to 137 inches, and you can go up to 222 inches for this resolution. That's actually even nicer. I usually have it 137 so I can see the whole screen without moving my head, but
so you doing your show, you doing your bullet points and so on from your glass?
Yeah, and then I can see the videos and I can see you guys and make eye contact with it. I'm gonna do 137 for now, and then I might change it later.
Yeah. So Ray-Ban displays ain't got nothing on there then, huh?
Nothing like this. All right, I forgot how to exit the menu.
Sorry I took you off topic there, man.
No, it's all right. Oh, I did get side view. Follow, no follow. Lock. Okay, good. It's locked on top of the camera. A little sideways now, though. But so it's got a camera in here. That's the camera is an optional extra, and that just helps anchor everything in place even further. But the next year's model, they have two cameras here, so they can do the augmented reality stuff. So
let me ask you this: can you get them in, like other than shades, or they have clearers too, or no?
Well, this is as clear as this model gets. The model that just came out with Asus gets a little bit clearer. But you can see here, I can crank it all the way black. So that way,
yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping that an update, because it says it's at about 30%. I'm hoping there's an option where you can just turn it off, and then they'll just, because some stuff that you want to display, it doesn't matter that you can see through it. And I'm hoping that they give us that option.
I like that. I like technology. I like that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get rid of my Ray-Bans, maybe, and change
Right.
them. Like, my Ray-Bans mellows.
But the Ray-Bans, I think they can take pictures and short videos, right?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one does do that too. With this accessory, you can take photos and short HD videos. But the regular ones don't do it.
I want to, baby. I hope they change it where you can change it from to, sometimes you want to do some of your videos that way because.
Yeah, mine does standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because that's good.
But I took the shortcut for take a picture. I took the shortcut for take a picture and did it change the screen some more.
I'm about to get with you, man. You gotta send me the information on that.
Okay. Let's do. I'm gonna change the screen share.
Yeah, Kacey very knowledgeable, man. That's why I'm blessed to know him because he knows some stuff.
Thank you. So the war on electronic door handles just came into the U.S. So this one I picked because it lines up with what those people were claiming. China has had a problem with this, and it's not just Tesla. It's just that here in the U.S. they are synonymous with Tesla because they were the first ones to do it here. But in China, everybody's got flush door handles, and the problem is that some of them don't have the same as the other, like Tesla, where when you get into a crash, it unlocks the doors, and so this was a problem for them. And let's see what they have to say in this article about it. So a bill has been introduced into Congress to regulate pop-out and electronic door handles on new cars. I'm curious if they just copied the China one or if they have their own. It would probably be best if they copied the China one so that the manufacturers only have to meet one standard.
Good point.
A U.S. Congresswoman has proposed a bill that would regulate complex door handles on cars. The bill would require door handles to be easy and intuitive to open in an emergency. This would affect automakers like Tesla, Rivian, and more that have added electronically actuated doors in new vehicles. Tesla, GM, Rivian, everybody's got door handles like this now, and some are worse than others. Human interface controls are supposed to be simple and easy to understand. Whether it's a software interface or something as critical as a door handle, it should be extremely clear how to work the controls, in my opinion. At least it turns out that automakers feel this way too. So people point out simple, this, that, and the other. I also want to point out that if you remember the 98 to 2000 change Camry, where door handles just randomly would break off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
So going simple isn't necessarily the answer either. You just need to have a standard on. Like I said earlier, with that all the manufacturers' doors work the same way, front and rear, and maybe break it up by truck versus SUV versus car, but probably don't do that if you can help it. And then whatever minimum standard you want for your EMTs and firefighters. And well, I was going to say the police, but we had an incident at the beginning of this week where somebody was pulling on a door handle, and if they couldn't pull on the door handle, maybe somebody would still be alive. This week, Congressman Robin Kelly of Illinois introduced securing functional. I hate it when they make these cutesy acronyms. It's they wanted to spell SAFE, the Safe Exit Act. Kelly's bill, which is backed by Consumer Reports, takes aim at electronic door handles, in response to concerns that the handles can delay or block access to escape during emergencies. That act calls out Tesla by name, following a string of deaths that were publicly attributed to the automaker's door handle design. The one that still makes me mad the most is the one where the old man crashed into a bed of rocks, boulders, if you will. Like they were all this big or smaller, and the cop let the old man burn to death because he didn't have his window smasher tool. I'm like, the man is surrounded by window smasher tools.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's get to the meat. The bill would require automakers to ensure that vehicle door handles can be opened quickly and intuitively in the event of an emergency. And so I'm not yet upset about this because you can still have cool, fancy flush door handles, unless it says no flush door handles, that comply with this, where, maybe if you lose power, they pop out, or
Right.
Like the internal original Model S door handles, the first couple degrees of travel was electric, and if the power was gone or you were panicking or anything happened like that, you pulled further harder, it would open the mechanical exits for you, similar to the way that on the current Teslas the front doors have an electric button and then a separate lever. The lever was on the same mechanism you already used, and if you just kept going, it would activate the lever. So they can do that with a button. You can have the button is the first little bit of like a soft push, and if you smash the button, oh, let me out, then it rips the cable and opens the door mechanically. So just do that to the outside of the car too, and then of course you'd have to make your locks actually really good. Right now, the Tesla locks are really good for free because there is no connection to the outside unless the computer deems it so, or if you're opening panels and pulling emergency pulls. You shouldn't have to pull the emergency pulls
Right.
in a crash. Mostly you would use those if your battery died and the key can't be detected and this, that, and the other. But something like that, where if the car is unlocked, they can reach those pulls would be fine without tearing the car apart. So let's see what else it says here. So the door handles can be opened quickly and intuitively. It doesn't give specifics on what will be required by the FMVSS, Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, if the bill passes. However, it would direct the U.S. Secretary of Transportation to come up with the requirements and automakers to comply within 2 years of the rule being finalized. I don't like that. It should be done by actual experts, not a guy who starred in the real world or Road Rules or whatever that reality show he was in. He's not an expert. He wants to charge $500 extra on top of whatever your state charges for every EV per year. Screw that guy. And not allegedly. He said it himself. The bill does mandate that the handles be made more conspicuous. The only one I've seen that doesn't have conspicuous door handles is the Cybertruck. And just because it doesn't have any. Like even like the Corvette and the Kias and stuff where they have like the hand scoop.
Right.
Like if you look around, there's a hand scoop. I guess like the Toyota and the Honda, where they hide it in the black trim on the back, it's not as conspicuous, but unless you're looking at a car in the dark with no light, those you can still tell what door handles are too. But even the Mustang Mach-E, like I said, everybody's got this, not just the Corvette, not just Teslas. Like the Mustang Mach-E, it's got these. Justification of Kelly's bill pointed squarely at Tesla and its CEO. You really, really got to avoid doing that when you make a law. It should be for the good of the people and not for friggin' points. I mean, he's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, but there are legitimate concerns with this without scoring points. Justification of Kelly's bill pointed squarely at Tesla and its CEO from Kelly's website announcing the bill. Profits and least of all style should not come before people's lives. See, that's the problem with this is their justification for doing flush door handles is fuel economy and aerodynamics. So while some of the others are doing it for style, that was never their stated reason for it. They call out Musk and his designs are not safe. Franz would probably have some words about that. Nor efficient. And we saw with the Chinese, when the Chinese were coming up with their law against this, they didn't say that it was not efficient. They just said that it wasn't efficient enough to justify the risks in the other Chinese cars that failed miserably. That were enough that they would call out. They didn't call out by name either, but they had the Tesla. They had all of their own internal companies that were doing this. Not everybody was doing them to the same level of robustness, and their reason for making the law is they wanted to save their citizens and their guests. And so they felt the best way was to, they actually have standards and prescriptions. I haven't read it because I don't read Mandarin, but I'll wait till it gets a little clearer. They've already started for anything that's made after a certain date. They had to already be at a certain level, and then they have to do a full redesign before the next fresh paper models. So We'll see what they do, and I imagine it'll be just fine. And I'm curious when they say not flush, does that just mean that you can't? They might have like a pinky. Hopefully not my pinkies, because mine are kind of small. I have decent sized hands, but my fingers are electronics friendly. But I'm thinking somebody with like a big sausage fingers, like a big burly, like a bouncer. Maybe make sure that their pinky can get in there if they do a pinky door handle cheat to just like to the skirt and the letter of the law. Let's see. When crashes or power loss leave drivers and passengers trapped inside their own cars, that's not innovation. It's a safety failure. And I'm not defending Tesla here, because you see me rail on the original Model 3 all the time, how that thing had no rear exit if the power went out. Unless you ahead of time cut a hole in your door map pockets and put in a safety pull. It should not have taken Brian from I1 to invent and basically give away, sell it at cost a kit to let you out of the rear of your Model 3. Yes, you can climb over the seat. Not everybody has the flexibility to do so.
Right, especially in the event of something tragic probably happened or something.
Mm-hmm. Like those drunk kids in the Cybertruck. You're doing 90 in a town where the top speed limit is 30, and then you smash into a wall. You can't only blame the truck, but if the doors are pinched and you can't get out the back, or you're too drunk to work the doors, the Cybertruck does have the proper pull the panel, pull the thing. But why cannot you have the same thing? Yes, there is the child safety situation, so. That's why, like on Marcus's car in the rear, you've got a pull tab that's not blatantly obvious. It's like you run your hand along the trim of where the seat meets the floor, and then you'll find two pull tabs. You pull them, and the doors pop open. I think that's good. And the door pockets aren't bad, but I want an adult to be able to work them without leaving the seat and without. I don't know, like I get the child safety latches, because one of mine wants to do the door herself, and my doors come up and out like this into traffic. So I understand. And she's still also small enough that she doesn't necessarily have full situational awareness. Hey, the door opened, I'm out. Versus, hey, let me make sure I don't get doored. Doored being, if you're on a bike and you're running next to the cars and somebody swings open the door, and it's a bad day for everybody, or worse. But now you're less than 4 feet tall. You're not looking where you're going. Your bird wing door is just opened up into a truck, and you've jumped out in front of it. So thankfully that hasn't happened yet. But yeah.
Hey, on mine, I'll say right quick, I just thought about it, but on mine, like on my race car mainly, I got mine for the back. I showed that in my video. I did.
Yeah, yours are hanging a little bit loose. They were taped up on the side.
Yeah, I got mine exposed just because Lord prevent something happening that needed to get somebody know how to go in and just pull it or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, you moved them up from that video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, because they can get in the back door and then just lay the seat down and grab you.
Reach in, right?
Yeah. Highlander says, I changed my X profile. Say, yeah, you do that from time to time. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. And the bill also cites, the camera got confused. I hit a reflection. The screen jumped for a second. And then went back. Musk profile by Wired and 18 was a person. Tesla required the pop-out door handles be featured in the brand's cars. And yeah, they were cool, but the primary reason was stated as aerodynamics. Unanimous among the executive staff that the complex door handle idea was crazy. Yeah, I mean, they like I said, I was scared when I saw them on the Cybertruck, because I had 6 of these door handles on my car that has 4 doors. They say they're more robust now, but I was happy to just not have them at all. Like my current car, no door handles. I've got these buttons. It required the incredibly complicated and engineering and solved a problem that no one else thought was actually a problem. But no matter how forcefully executives objected, Musk wouldn't yield. The bill also cites a petition from Consumer Reports calling for safer door handles with more than 35,000 signatures. Consumer Reports had to postpone its review of the S in 2015 because the fancy retractable door handles refused to let them in. 2015, that would be older than my car. So yeah, like I said, they had some sucky handles back then. The micro switches could rust or just get broken, and they switched out so they don't use micro switches anymore. And yeah. Writing on the wall early, Tesla had already committed to reworking the handles, as has Rivian, although that hasn't kept owners from coming up with crafty ways of beating it to the punch. And Chinese government agencies are also taking action on the tech. That's why I'm saying it would have been easier just to copy the Chinese one and then move on from there, instead of calling out people by name. Top comments. We've got. Come back. I don't see any benefit of electric door handles. Yeah, see, we got snap decisions like this, like the electrician earlier in the show who is running 48 amps through a 50 amp, not really good electrician, or people banning race cars that because they have a feeling like they're like it's not none. China didn't say none. China said it's not worth it for the percentage that they got. It was like a fraction of a percent in the real world versus in the wind tunnel. In the wind tunnel, it happens to be a little cleaner than in the real world sometimes. And again, calling out this guy by name, forced this design over the objection of the engineers. The objection of the engineers was that the design they used was kind of weak, not that it didn't save energy. Remember, the Model S40 was looking at just over 100 and change miles of range. So every little fraction of a percent you could get it was helpful. Even though it's legal and other companies have them, you get more comical by the day. They were one of the first in the nation to do it. So, yeah. I think the next one is similar. No, this one is actually kind of switching off of the snap decisions of dum-dums. I'm not saying that we don't need safer door handles, but the way that one was phrased, it should not have been phrased that way. This ultra-fast EV charger can go online much faster than traditional installs. The Electric Fish's DC fast charger doesn't need costly grid upgrades. Despite that, it can still deliver up to 400 kilowatts. Not bad. So it's looking like they probably got a battery in there based on its size. And judging by the fact that I'm seeing a Cybertruck and a Lucid, I'm hoping that means they can do 1,000 volts for their 400 kilowatts. Because otherwise, it's a weird choice of cars. Because if it's a 400 volt system, then this one will charge extra slow, and this one isn't a good example of it either. So let's see. 400 squared can be installed as little as a few hours instead of months. Doesn't need costly grid upgrades. Secret lies inside the box. Inside the box of batteries. Let's see. Still more to do charging. 67,000 individual ports. What I'm seeing here is how does it compare with a supercharger? Because those are the only other ones that actually can be installed in a decent amount of time. Well, there's one, but they're not 400 kilowatts. They do a similar thing with the battery, big battery somewhere on the property, and then the charge heads elsewhere. And then you just slowly charge up that battery when it's cheap for you to do so. One startup reckons it can speed up installations by eliminating one of the main bottlenecks of grid upgrades. For a 300 kilowatt charger to work as intended, the extremely costly grid upgrades are often needed. It can take months, if not years, to complete, and it's super expensive. So that's a BMW, and that's an Audi. It looks like an Audi with the dual cameras there.
Yeah, that's an Audi.
All right. The stall is an all-in-one solution that doesn't need separate power distribution cabinet. That means it can be loud too if it doesn't have a separate power distribution cabinet. But if you're in your car, it won't be loud enough that you can't take a quick nap. Although if it's fast enough, you'll barely be able to go to the bathroom and get your snack before it's ready. Charges 400 kilowatt hours of energy. Also can charge a car 4 times before it needs to. Yep, batteries. There we go. 400 kilowatt hours of batteries, and so it can charge basically 4 different cars. or two Hummers. And the total power output is rated at 400 kilowatts to 200 kilowatts per port if two EVs are connected at the same time. That's a little low on the per port, but it'll get you done because they don't all pull full all the time. I think the huge batteries can be intelligently charged and discharged. If you're at a low use site, you can probably also get back some money for boosting the grid a little bit. The minimum grid connection requirements are more than reasonable. Battery can be charged up when the stalls are free, and energy can be transferred to EVs in need of a top up. I mean, even beyond that, you can still be charging the cabinet while an EV is charging if you have the right controllers. Assuming that you don't have a truck or a bus pull up, they're not going to drain your 400 kilowatt hours, and so you can just always be ripping it at like 80 amps or something, and then as long as it's not like like one of those California sites where it's just always busy, you'll have it filled back up. 55 amps, that's it? Oh, at least 55 amp, okay. The power split phase 120 or 240 volt connection. There's also 3-phase 208 volt option that needs 83 amps, while the top spec model can do 3-phase 480 volts and 115 amps. Wow.
Man.
That's reasonable. Because the 100 amp breaker for my system was like cheaper than you would expect. Highlander says, can you make it so Smoke's channel comes up more prominently? I can see it, but I want to go visit his stuff. I would love Smoke as he keeps it real. What I'm going to try to do at the end of this live stream, I had been doing it on Tesla Life Show, is after YouTube gets done processing it, I do a collaboration. And what that does is when you hit subscribe, it actually subscribes to all of us. And so you see one with me and Brian earlier in the year, or not this year, but late last year. And I'm going to try to do that here if it lets me. But you'll notice that last week's Tesla Live Show didn't have it on there because YouTube did something weird where it wasn't working on the live streams, but was still working on the pre-recordeds. But let's see what we can do to make that bigger. We're as big as we can get while still showing the thing on screen. That got rid of the words. That made them small. I think that's as big as the text gets. Go ahead and put your channel in the chat there, Marcus.
Oh, my channel. Okay.
Oh yeah. And then let me go over here in case it blocks a link.
Oh, the whole channel, or what we talking about? My YouTube channel? Or what?
Yeah, YouTube channel.
Let's see.
Electrify says the integrated DC fast charger is best suited for conventional gas stations, commercial centers, and fleet operators. But the 400 square can also be quickly deployed in emergencies where authorities may need. Like that. Florida has a really nice setup for their emergency evacuations. You can just crane in a couple of EV chargers. And I don't know if you can see the purple pill, but I can copy it into there for you. Because he's in on the YouTube side of it. But you've got an X account, right, Marcus?
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
It's everything to every platform is at EV Smoke ATX on everything. You search there, you're gonna pull up everything. I won't let me chat. I mean, let's see. Am I doing something wrong? It says I don't have the ability to do in the chat.
I meant on the YouTube side, on the video stream at YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they don't do it on this side. Like, it's very easy. Yeah. You've already logged in. They know who you are, but it's just not something they've done. But I've got some software solutions I'm coming up with over the year on that. It depends on if they try to raise my rate again. It's easy enough just to log in, but if they raise the rate to what they were talking about, then it's also worth my time to use that other system. All about that Linux, baby. Interesting solution worth noting. It's not the only one out there that promises similar benefits. XCharge is working on a 44-stall EV charging hub in Brooklyn that uses battery-powered grid-linked chargers. And Seattle's Electric Era also builds battery-powered DC fast chargers that are used by companies like Costco. But that's the important thing, is that there's choices. Because if they were the only ones to do this, then they'd run away with the charges. And I don't mean the electric car charges. I mean the money in your wallet charges, which is, come on now. Don't be greedy. Come on, Milton, share the cake. This is fine for a remote location where there'll be plenty of time between cars to replenish. Doesn't have to be remote. It just has to not overwhelm the grid connection. Like if they charge 12 cars a day per stall, no big deal. I don't know the actual numbers, but something like that. We could run the math. We used a charger like this on the road between Montreal and Toronto. Hadn't seen it before. Plugged in, saw battery status at 55% on the display. Didn't think much of it. After plugging in, the rate was around the car max. So cool. Till it went below 10% on the dispenser and dropped the charge rate to under 10 kilowatts. Fortunately, we had charged enough to reach the destination with a requisite safety margin, so we could unplug. It was frustrating to see it taper off before the set charge max. And that was right there. What I'm saying is if you dialed it in wrong, but he said in the wintertime, I'm wondering if it was just too cold and they didn't spec the winter model, and so it was just not charging the batteries, so it didn't destroy them. That happens too. Or especially if you did it at nighttime in the winter time. Yeah, that could be too cold. Yeah. So what you want to do, if you have the option to buy these for your business and you want to attract customers and it gets cold where you are, get the winter kit or have somebody build you a box with a heater in it. Maybe a portable box so you can take it down in the summertime. As it was, there was a second dispenser that had a full battery, which should have been a prompt to choose it, live and learn. It would have been helpful if A, B, or P, a better route planner had that as an identifier as they routed us to the charger in question. I think I canceled my Better Route Planner subscription just because Tesla got so good at their route planning. Not that they were ever bad, but it was nice in the beginning before Rivian bought them. Not that Rivian didn't make it worse. It's just that Tesla got that much better at running superchargers. That by the time Rivian bought a Better Route Planner, it was not at all necessary for me, and so it was like what $40 a year for something I used every other year. So canceled that. If it can even really charge at 50 kilowatts, there's a lot more vehicles per day it could handle charging at 10 kilowatts. Okay. Yeah, so these people all get it, most of them. And then the last article I pulled up was about Ford, because that's what we were actually looking for, was looking about the Ford F-150 Lightning that Timothy had asked us about. And this isn't necessarily about the Lightning. This is what they said is after the one that they're replacing it with. So last I heard, F-150 Lightning is getting replaced with an extended range gasser. And then they also want to do a $30,000 EV truck platform and have eyes-off driving in 2028. So in just 2 years. 2 weeks. Judging from what I last saw of Blue Cruise, they have a solid foundation, but not something that I would expect could be there in 2 years unless they're going to change horses. And they could still do it. I mean, they were the first with NACS, so they could just put FSD unsupervised in there, and that would happen. I expect that will happen within 2 years.
You think?
To be able to just sit there and surf your phone or not necessarily pay attention to the road? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the V4 anyway, not with what I've got. mine can't think that fast. Not to be outdone, at CES, Ford announced its big tech in-car AI assistance, unified vehicle brain, and eyes-free driving soon. I'm not sure what unified vehicle brain is. AI assistance, you can do that over a cell phone connection and a web link, because you don't need the AI in the car. It helps when there's no connection, but you don't need it in the car to advertise it. Then it's also a matter of, is it useful? Because as we saw with Jason Finke, Engineering Explained, Jason, he pointed out that his Lucid AI is not properly plumbed. So if you ask it to open the glove box, it used to tell you use the controls on the glove box to open them, and it doesn't have any controls on the glove box because, like Tesla, it's all electric. And so then after he gave them pointed criticism, they changed the AI to say, here's how you open the glove box. You go down to this menu, push that button, and then push open the glove box. But if Ford does that, then there was no point in AI in the car. It needs to be able to have some basic functions. I don't necessarily. I think it should be plugged into everything, but to say you've got it and it can't do something like open the glove box when you call it out is pretty lame. Let's see. Highlander says, first time I'm able to bounce from X to YouTube almost seamlessly. We all know the troubles that we had in the past. Yes, they're really aggressive about power cycling the apps that you switch between them. Yeah, YouTube channel, put it in. Okay, and then I checked. I don't own any EV yet, but I have over 14 free apps telling me where charging stations are looking forward to being, where charging stations are, and looking forward to being able to do my job, which is running around Toledo checking charge. Yeah, see, like you and me having extra charge apps is kind of cool, but for the average owner, I think they've made it so it's not as pressing anymore. But for us enthusiasts, it's the thing. Hello, Chop Frog. Hello, Chop Frog. What have you got there? You got a unicorn? And a face full of yogurt? Yeah. You say hi? Hi. You can't see my screen, but you can talk. See the camera? Tickle, 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 tickle. All right, so even as Ford ended 2025 on kind of a retreat, still counted future technology as a win. In 2026, Ford announced that the Eyes Off Blues Cruise will arrive in 2028 on the new Universal Electric Vehicle platform. See, that's the thing about the traditionals. The upgrades are always buy a new car. Every now and then they'll throw you a bone, and like it was just so simple, they'll pop it in there. But like on my Volt 2012 to 2013, to get the energy monitor display to show you on the screen what the car already knew about where the energy was going, I had to buy a new car for a software update. Yeah, it was silly, wasn't it? In a blog post, Doug Field, Apple and Tesla veteran, now serves as Ford's chief EV digital and design officer, said Ford's goal is to democratize advanced autonomous driving. Yeah? Yeah. Da. All right, we gotta talk into it. Don't put it down to your chest. Da. Wah. All right, but this one is sensitive on the front, not the side. It rejects stuff from the side. Yeah. So, autonomy shouldn't be a premium feature. Level 3 eyes off driving will be road ready in 2028. Oh, yeah, they're probably definitely using some stuff like NVIDIA and partners to get there. Why else would they need to wait 2 years and be so sure of it unless they're using somebody else's stuff? So I would say that's when they anticipate FSD drop-in will be ready, or NVIDIA's promises. Right now, Blue Cruise allows drivers to take their hands off the wheel so long as they watch the road ahead and be ready to intervene. Yeah? Oh, yes? Why you being so mean to me? You wouldn't like it if I pulled your hair. Why are you pulling my hair? Don't be mean. Ow. Don't we pull your hair? Ah. Ow. So another benefit of follow mode is if there were enough of this going on, I could keep the camera or keep the screen in front of me. So as long as she's not on it, I could keep the screen in front of me and see what's going on. Let's see. Highlander says, hi, you got a backup moderator. Sandy Monroe is so deeply involved in the new Ford project. He's getting rid of the Cybertruck he owns. Oh, wow. He's, in fact, is also applying for a job with him. Okay. I didn't realize he was getting rid of a Cybertruck. That's bold. You look at that Munchkin. All right, so the MB Drive Assist Pro, Mercedes Drive Assist, unlike Tesla's full self-driving supervised robotaxis or Waymo Mercedes, it does not function in urban environments. Yeah. Oh, that's right now. Blue Cruise. Yeah, we knew that. That's why I was thinking that 2 years seems aggressive for them. Yeah, Sue Monroe's personal cell phone number. Long story, but I got it. Yeah, I remember the story. It's a cool story. All right, 130,000 miles of approved highway. Ford runs several competitors, branching into more advanced levels of driving automation, and has largely. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the tablet from falling and not drop the baby. Don't drop the baby. She's blowing raspberries now. With fairly limited drive pilot feature. Chinese automaker Geely announced the Level 3 system at CES this week. And General Motors said it would be bringing LiDAR-powered eyes off driving to its cars as well. Anders has become a member. Thank you, Anders. Anders says good evening. It hasn't showed up on this control room yet. Highlander says Anders is in the room. Anders celebrates 47 months of membership. Hot dog, baby. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Highlander says, great to see you. 47 months. Thank you very much for your support, sir. Don't fall, don't fall. All right, where were we? Come back over to this screen. My mouse died, and I've got this one that it bumps every time I change screens. Or at least that's an option for them, and I do like that it bumps, because now I can tell which screen I'm on. Ford has not said whether the eyes off Blue Cruise would include LiDAR or not. Does it matter? That's like saying my keyless entry control uses 900 megahertz radio and a 3 gigahertz processor, and yours uses 900 megahertz wireless and a photonic controller or something. I don't know. You stepped on my cable. Made the screen shift around. All right. An AI assistant that you can use at Home Depot. Oh, she's pulling on the cable again. This thing gets warm when it touches your forehead. Usually it doesn't do that. Hi, Doug. How can I help? How many of these will fit in my truck bed? See, now, if you could actually answer that, that would be kind of cool. But since they don't currently make an AI, I would assume that they would use a commercial one. And most of the commercial ones out there, unless it remembers, it's got like built-in system prompts, like, hey, you're in a 2028 Ford mini truck, where it would always reference that, then I have a feeling it would just make even more mistakes. Yeah? You've wrapped into both my cords here, baby. She got my cords in her armpit. There we go. Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Like virtually every other company with a presence at CES, Ford is joining the artificial intelligence race. But this approach seems tailor-made for the needs of Ford customers. Does it? Or they just showed it off that way? The in-house computer brain is what? Oh, it's just their version of zonal architecture. Okay. Good on them for coming into the future. Ford has announced the High-Performance Compute Center, an in-house developed unit which includes infotainment, automated driving, audio, and connected. I don't know if I want all of it in one computer. Audio and connected networking in one compact package. Higher performance, lower production cost, and smaller size. The computer should allow the $30,000 truck to have a more powerful computing and features than most current Ford models. For customers, that means a vehicle that feels more consistent, more reliable, and more capable year after year. We'll see. Well, good on you, Ford. You made a lot of bold announcements. We'll see what you actually bring to the table. Al Bundy seems to feel the same. Blah, blah, blah. Ford's becoming the king of announcements. Model E abandoned. Skunk Works, nothing to come out of it. New EV pickup, canceled, etc., etc. I will believe it when I see it. I agree with you, Al. You have to give Ford some credit. They won gold in the 2025 recall Olympics at a staggering 153. I'm not going to fault them for doing recalls. A note on the headline about Ford makes big promises and they may not be able to fulfill or might give up on. Ford's already thrown away billions of dollars flip-flopping and canceling promised vehicle after vehicle. They don't get the benefit of a doubt anymore. Also, Ford promises to force customers to pay for AI they don't want. I don't think the market for autonomy will become as challenging as the EV market. If you don't want it, then certainly don't pay for it. What country are you living in? Well, JT, the problem is if they make it a subscription or if they build it in and charge you for it. That changes the calculus a little bit. JT says, I'm not so sure Ford can pull it off any better than any other legacy manufacturers. It seems that Tesla is years ahead, and now others with to brush off their failures and copy them. Most legacy manufacturers don't make their vehicles. Well, okay. Yeah, I see the point you're going for there. They outsource everything and just assemble. Yeah, they make the frames and they make the engines, but with electric motors and batteries, most of them don't do that, right? Being horizontally integrated is a recipe for failure and an expensive failure to learn. But you don't have to be as vertically integrated as Brian pointed out, as Tesla or BYD to have some success. But you can't just buy everything from the catalog. All right, so I'm going to close that one. Highlander says, I still have a lot of faith in Ford. Still a family-run company. They really are. It's true. They are overall, and I do like that. So those were the items I wanted to discuss. I was glad to get Brian on and discuss the China trip because I was wondering how that went. And definitely go over, check out his first look at the Model Y that came out this morning over at Futuraza. And then check out EV Smoke here. Check out Marcus's video on the nonsense that Drag Strip came up with on his channel.
Banned in the USA.
Yes. Hopefully just that one track. If anybody else follows suit, I would definitely, I don't know if you have a discrimination suit at that point. If they, I mean, you can sue for anything in this country, but I think there's a real shot at that since they are not basing it on real evidence. And at the very least, then they have to respond, and then you get to open them up for discovery where you get to see that they actually didn't get a letter from their insurance company, and now they're in a whole world of hurt and they'll probably want to settle. Big shout out to everybody who came here and smoked. I was able to screenshot your channel and show up and visit. Excellent. I would have done a little bit more to it, Highlander, but I had the full hands situation going on. And like I said, I will try and, if YouTube doesn't block me from doing it this week, I will try and do the collaboration where it'll say, my first time seeing it was a politician and just a random YouTuber. It was Elizabeth Warren and some guy I'd never heard of before. And it's like, so-and-so and Elizabeth Warren. I was like, what? Did they make a new channel just for this one video? And then that's when I realized that this collaboration feature was live. And then I saw it all over the place after that, which is really cool. It's like Tesla and so-and-so or, Ford and the Ford fans. It was really cool to see. And so then after that, I saw it with, YouTuber and that's the way that should have been there way long ago, but I'm glad they put it in there. So I want to thank our channel members like Anders with his 47 months, incredible, and our other members for your monetary contributions, and our one-offs like we didn't have any this week, but those are also helpful as well. And so we'll see you guys on our respective channels. We'll see you on the Tesla Live show live on Wednesday. We got a pre-recorded show tomorrow. And then we'll catch you back here next week. Catch you on the flip side. Let me hit this button, and then we will check you out next week.
I want to say right quick, I appreciate everything you do, Kacey. Once again,
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys because without you guys, like I said, I'm not the best way of speaking things because I do get, I got a passion for what I believe in, especially when somebody, put out something is false or it's just some BS behind or whatever. But I appreciate you guys in the chat for Omar, just help me out, speak, just getting the word out the proper way. And like I said, this is what we here for, man. We believe in what we believe in, man. Hey, EVs ain't going nowhere.
Definitely. All right, I'm gonna hit the closeout button, and then we'll say goodbye on X after that, and then I might have a little chat with Marcus. Let's see you on next week.